Hello there, my lovely darkling. It's your fave witch Jamila Anahata back with another video, and welcome to Metal Mealtime. And usually I like to make things a little bit more on the plant-based side, a little bit more healthy and nutritious because that's all what I'm about. But it is fall, which is comfort food season, and I want to make something super tasty, especially since my boo Alex is going to be going on tour within the next few days. And before he leaves, we wanted to make something that we made a lot during the pandemic, and that is pizza rolls. So we use Pillsbury dough crescent rolls that you can get usually at your local market, and we like to wrap this up with some tomato sauce, some vegan cheese, and whatever meat of our choice. We were trying to look for vegan pepperoni today when we were at the store, but we have some Beyond sausage, which we like to use as pepperoni, especially since it's hot Italian style. So it'll be super yummy and taste exactly like pepperoni anyway. So before I get started, I just want to let you know the ingredients. I have my baking pan, some parchment paper. I always like to use non-stick type baking sheet. I have the, once again, crescent rolls. We have vegan cheese. Whatever vegan cheese is accessible and affordable to you. We like Daya. Daya is perfectly fine. A lot of people don't like Daya cheese. Let me know what you think in the comments. What is your favorite type of vegan cheese? I think it's pretty good. A lot of people don't like it. And this time we just have our leftover Mexican four cheese, and we got some zesty, spicy Monterey Jack style. It doesn't really matter. Cheese is cheese. So whatever type of flavor you want, go right ahead. We just know that we like it spicy and zippy and zesty. And as far as the spices go, we have black pepper, onion powder. Of course, we have to add a little bit of Slap Your Mama, some red pepper, because once again, we like it spicy. A lot of garlic. We love our garlic powder. A little bit of paprika to make it a little bit smoky, especially since we have these plant-based links to make it more pepperoni tasting. And we have our roasted garlic tomato sauce. And once again, when it comes to pizza, anything, you have to have a lot of garlic. I don't care what you have to say. Garlic tastes good on anything savory, but when it comes to Italian type food or something saucy just like this, extra garlic is a must. And you already know we can't do anything pizza related without Italian seasoning. It is a must as well. All right, so let's get started, shall we? I'm going to start by popping open this can of crescent rolls. And usually I'm pretty intimidated by opening these, especially since I have a little bit of a sharp knife, but I should be fine, trust me. You know what? I'll do it with something a little bit more safe. And I'm deciding to do it with a spoon instead, just to be a little bit more safe, and obviously I don't recommend someone doing it with a knife. So I will pop this open. This always scares me. Let's see what happens. So if you don't know how to open up these crescent rolls already, something that I had to learn the hard way, you would want to peel where it says start here, and the cardboard is going to be exposed. So it'll say press spork, I guess it says spork, press spork at seam until can pops open right here on the cardboard. So that's exactly what I'm going to do with my spoon, but it recommends a spork. What can you do? All right. Oh, right. That wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. Usually it just feels so, kind of like when you pop open a wine bottle. That's the same feeling I get whenever I open these. So I'm glad to know that it wasn't as, in my face. So now that I've opened them, you see that they are nice and fluffy. I'm going to take them out. And they're already pre-quartered for you because these, I believe, are 8 rolls within them. And they are pre-cut for you, so you can just create them straight up. As you can see, it's a little bit cut right here. So I'm going to pull them apart. I'm going to pull them apart and set up the triangle so I can put all the ingredients on top of them. So yes, I'm going to take them out and place them on their respective places with their respective triangles. And you want to make sure that you do not leave them out for too long. I've already preheated my oven to 350 degrees right behind me. So maybe the heat from that, leaving this out a little too long, made them a little bit more soft, but that is a-okay. They will still be made and they will still be delicious. So yes, just separating them with the tears that they already have pre-done. Separating, separating, separating. Ooh, and they're larger than I thought. Because once again, me and the hubs used to make this literally in 2020 all the time. It was like our favorite pandemic food. And we indulged a little too much in it, but I don't remember it being this large, but I'm not even complaining. So yes, once again, placing them evenly on my baking sheets, on my parchment paper. And it is also okay that they're a little bit larger and that it doesn't seem like there's going to be much space now, because I will put all the ingredients on top of them and roll them up. So it won't be this large forever. So I am just going to be a little lax in how I do that. Perfect. Awesome. So this is what it looks like so far on my baking pan. So what I'm going to do now is put all the ingredients on top, which will be the sauce, the spices, the cheese, and then the Beyond sausage. But first, before I do any of that, we need to make the Beyond sausage. And on top of me preheating my oven to 350 degrees, I also preheated my skillet over here on my stove to around medium to high heat. So I will be adding a little bit of oil, slicing these into rounds right now, and skilleting them. So what I like to do is take out one of these sausages. They look just like this, very traditional. So I'm gonna set this aside. And I'm just going to slice them into rounds. Have my trusty spatula for later. I'm just gonna slice them into rounds, nothing special. So I will just cut off the sides right here. Actually, I don't mind leaving the sides on. Once again, we want this to be pepperoni type flavored, so it'll be just fine. So I'm slicing them into as thin rounds as possible, especially since this gets a little bit mushy when you leave it out a little bit longer. And as I said earlier, we have all the things preheating right now, so it is not chilly in here. So I'm not surprised if this got a little bit softer along the way. Not a problem. It will still be cooked very, very well in the oven with all the rest of the ingredients. So yes, slicing them into rounds with a nice serrated knife on my cutting board and slicing them as thin as possible. Thicker slices wouldn't be that bad. However, I do still want them to have a pepperoni feel, and I don't want this to be too big inside of our crescent rolls, because even though these rolls are bigger than expected, we want everything to fit within them. We don't want everything to be out of whack or out of place. Okay, so now we just skilleted the Beyond sausages, and because it was preheating for so long, they got a little bit crisp, but that is perfectly fine with me. I do like my meat a little bit. Okay, that sounds gross. But that is perfectly fine with me. That means we don't have to put the crescent rolls on for too long, or we don't have to worry about the pepperonis being undercooked. So now that I have my crescent rolls out, I'm going to be adding the roasted garlic tomato sauce onto them. So now it is, let's shake it up a little bit. And take a trusty spoon and just go for it. So what I like to do is start with the whiter part first. Just like to go over the whiter part with it. I'm just using a little bit at a time. I would say probably barely a tablespoon at a time. So starting slow and then adding on to the larger part of the crescent so that it is less messy. And when we're rolling up, we don't want it to be sloppy or too much sauce, even though when it comes to pizza, I love too much sauce. Like, there is not too much sauce for me at all. So I just want to start slow, because once again, when it comes to cooking in any form, you can Add in however much you want, but you cannot take it away. So you want to make sure that you are being nice and slow with it. So just adding. Okay, so now that I've added the sauce, I'm going to spread it a little bit downward towards the thinner part of the crescent roll, just so I can evenly distribute all the sauce, and if I don't have to add much more, then I won't. So I'm just going to spread it a little bit downward, and if I need to add more, I definitely will, which will excite me even more because once again, the saucier the better in my opinion. But you can also add a little bit of sauce afterwards, as in like when this is completely baked. You can dip it in more sauce, which I usually do when it comes to pizza. Once again, the saucier the better. So I will either ask for extra sauce on my pizza, put it on it myself when I'm making pizza, or dip it in more sauce if necessary. So yes, I see that there are a few that I might add a little bit more sauce to. Do this at your own risk. I haven't done this in, honestly, I probably haven't made this in over maybe 2 years. Usually because I like to make my own food and we like to make it very plant-based and very nutritious. But once again, 'tis the season, so why not do something yummy and warming and also just fun. Pizza rolls are fun. We all know that pizza in general is fun, but pizza rolls just kick it up another notch. So now that I've added all the sauce to the crescent rolls, put on my spices first. Because you can definitely put on your spices after the cheese, but you want to stick to the sauce. So I'm going to start with my black pepper, because black pepper usually gives things the kick you really want without adding the necessary spice. And as you already know, we like it spicy over here, but you can never go wrong with black pepper. Onion powder. And even though this is already a roasted garlic tomato sauce, garlic powder. And I'm still going to be adding as much as I want to because garlic is life. Alrighty. And just a little bit of paprika, especially since we want to have that smoky pepperoni taste to this. I'm going to add a little bit of paprika. And I just like smoky, savory food. Smoky, spicy, savory, my favorite combination. Some red pepper just to add a little bit more of a kick, especially since this is already hot Italian Beyond sausage. But why not make it spicier? Some slap your mama, because why not? We are definitely fans in this household. And last but absolutely not least, Italian seasoning. You cannot have pizza without Italian seasoning. You can, but why? Please answer me that. Okay, so now we can add in our cheese. And just sprinkling a little bit at a time. Once again, we do not want to overload these pizza rolls for obvious reasons, because they can get filled up very, very quickly. Because these are larger than I expected once again. But we don't want too many things oozing out the sides. Even though that sounds delicious, it's very messy, and the less cleanup, the better, in my opinion. Okay, we are done with the Mexican four cheese, and now we're on to our Monterey Jack. So it's almost like we're mixing cuisines here. We're having the Mexican type cheeses, but with like the Italian type seasonings. So, so good. Okay, just adding a little bit more. Okay, great. I'm just going to stop there because actually just a little bit more. Oh. Okay, so this is what it looks like now with the sauce and the cheese and the spices. And now we're going to be adding on our sausage or pepperoni. So I'll just be setting my skillet right here. It's completely cooled down now. And we're going to be adding the sausages one by one at first, and then seeing what other ones we can disperse onto the other bowls. So this is is what it looks like. They're nice and crisp, nice and browned. Going to be absolutely delicious. I almost want to just eat one now since I'm a little hungry. Oh yeah, absolutely. So yes, once again, putting them on one by one. And then whatever's left over, we'll be placing onto whatever respective roll is available for it. Perfect. Okay, so there will be a few rolls that don't have as many, but that is perfectly fine. There are some that probably don't have as much cheese that I will give some more love to with these sausages or pepperoni. And I believe we're done when it comes to the application of everything. We have our crescent rolls, we put the sauce on, we put the cheese on and the spices, we have our pepperoni or sausage on there, and now all we need to do is roll them up. And rolling them up, you're just going to take the lower part of the funnel of the crescent roll, and you're literally just going to roll them up with your hands. So you're going to take them and just roll, 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 as you would with a typical crescent roll. And you're going to, almost like how you would with a burrito, you want to make sure as you're going along, you are stuffing in the toppings to make sure they're all within them. And usually I like to make it look more of a croissant type roll, but since they're so thick and full of things, I'm just going to allow them just to be like little tiny burritos, which is pretty cute. So I'm just going to keep rolling, once again acting like they're a burrito, and tucking in all the ingredients and then setting them aside. Because when they bake, they are going to puff out a little bit, and they'll probably take a shape of its own anyway, so we never know when it comes to this. So yes, roll, roll, roll. Okay, and I only have 2 more left. I'm so excited. Once again, I haven't done this in a few years, so I know this is going to be absolutely delicious. I can smell it already. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to place them in the oven for them to bake for about 9 to 12 minutes. And they may not even need to bake that long, especially since we already pre-cooked the sausages. Awesome, and I'm on my last one. Beautiful. And if there are any stray pieces of cheese, just place them right on top. That's exactly what I'm going to do, because I do not want to waste this cheese. Just like with any pizza, the best part is usually the cheese. So I'm going to make sure I take any stray pieces and placing them directly on the top. Oh, I just realized that a cheese that you usually would use with pizza is mozzarella cheese. But once again, we like it zesty over here, so this is not an issue. So yeah, there's definitely other flavors of cheese than just like cheddar and things like that. I always feel like with cheese, I always just consider it just being cheddar or just yellow, since I'm not a big cheese eater, and I wasn't really a big cheese eater, but back when I wasn't vegan. But yes, mozzarella cheese all the way when it comes to pizza. Yes, so now I have all the stray pieces of cheese on top, which is actually even cuter because they will be baked obviously right on top of the pastry, which will even make it look beautiful and give it more of a cheesy feel, or even like a biscuit feel, which is why these pizza rolls taste so good, especially as someone who loves biscuits. All right, so these are what the pizza rolls look like before putting them in the oven. Little cute little burritos, little biscuit burritos with cheese on top. Adorable. And now I'm going to be placing them in my oven for about 9 to 12 minutes. And once again, it is at 350 degrees. Let's put them in, shall we? And I'm lucky to have a microwave right here that also has a kitchen timer. So I'll be placing about 12 minutes on the timer, checking about halfway through. Oh, I am so excited. Not only am I looking forward to eating them after years of not having them, I and Booski are very hungry. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I just took out the pizza rolls from the oven. They are basically baked to a golden brown, nice and brown on the back side of them. Yes, you want to make sure that they're not too doughy, and you want to allow them to cool for just a little bit. It's so funny because I literally just took them out of the oven. Didn't really give it too much time to cool, but I just want to make sure I'm checking that they are nice and golden brown on the bottom as well. And I love how I have a spatula right here and I'm burning my fingers for them, but be safe, don't be like me and use your spatula. But I cook all the time, so this is very normal for me. But yes, they are nice and brown at the bottom. And as you can tell, they are golden on top, nice and beautiful. So we are going to allow these to cool for a little bit before we eat them. And just like I said earlier, I am so excited for this because we are hungry, haven't eaten these for years, and they smell incredible. So let's have the taste test after they cool. Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for, because we all together allowed this to most likely bake for about 15 minutes to allow the dough itself to be nice and golden brown, especially with all the toppings inside. We let it cool for about 2 minutes. It's probably still hot, but whatever, our tongues will heal. Now it's time for the taste test. So let's get to it. So once again, it looks like this, like a little pocket, so adorable, like a little mini hot pocket that you can make from home. You can see all the toppings, the ooey gooey cheese, the roasted garlic tomato sauce, and the savory hot Italian sausage. And I don't know if you can tell, but it is literally steaming. That's how hot it is. Literally a homemade hot pocket. I'm going for it anyway. Let's see how it tastes, shall we? Absolutely delicious. It is everything I want it to be and more. I almost keep forgetting that the crescent rolls are basically biscuits, and once again, as a biscuit lover, having pizza type toppings inside of a biscuit is amazing. It's nice and buttery and flaky. The cheese is nice and melty, and even though we did pre-cook the sausage beforehand in a skillet, it's not burnt at all. It's still very firm, savory, and a little bit crunchy, which I'm not complaining about at all. This is absolutely tasty. Get yourself some comfort food this fall season, y'all. This is perfect. And thank you so much for watching Metal Mealtime. I am so excited for the next video. Let me know what kind of other meals you would like me to make, especially for the fall and winter season, so we can fill up our bellies full of comfort food. And of course, I like my plant-based healthy stuff, but this is where it's at as well. As long as we're just creating a rhythm between healthy food and comfort food, can't nobody go wrong with that. So yes, once again, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe for more videos, comment down below, and visit me at thesoulfulveganista.com to check out my services. Much love, and until next time, I will be there for you. Bye-bye.